Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Corona edition of Out of Your Mind with April Adams. So, things have been a little crazy lately, to say the least. There have been, all these warnings going out about health crisis and germs everywhere, and people have been quarantined, and there are people on lockdown, and everybody is feeling really uncertain and they're buying out the stores. It really feels like madness, and I know I can just feel energetically that things are getting really, really intense emotionally for a lot of people. And I mean, it's gotten intense for me. At first I was just sort of, whatever, it's not a big deal. Just boost your immune system and keep going. Always, felt like, of course, the elderly should be protected and all of that, but really kind of felt like maybe it wasn't that big of a concern in the beginning. So I was easily able to just kind of ride that out and didn't really know what everybody was freaking out about so much. But, as things have gone on, of course, it starts to affect different people's lives in different ways, kind of gradually here and there. And so as it started to affect me, I have just been plugging away using the click tracks. And also, I've been much more lately getting the guidance to create a balance between the mental and logical and psychological work, um, and also the energetic and divine work. So, bringing a better balance of the mental, emotional stuff and the divine and the energetic stuff. And that has really been super helpful to me. That whenever I feel like there are so many burdens piling up and so much just that I can't control, that I can't handle, I'll either click track it, or I'll just gather it all up, all that weight that's on my shoulders, all that stuff that I feel like is being piled onto me, and I will just hand it over to the universe and say, I can't handle this. This is too heavy for me to carry. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to control this. I don't know how to make this go the way that I want it to go. So I'm going to give it over to you. And I ask you to please smooth this out for me. And just trust, just allow whatever happens to happen, and just trusting that the universe has our back. As difficult as this seems, we really have to start to trust, and that can be really hard. It feels like a free fall. And I think a big part of this is remembering that a lot of us, especially the majority of you watching this or listening to this, you know that you're here for a reason. You know that there's a big shift that is happening on the planet at this time. You know you came here to hold space for that and to help that go well and go smoothly. You know that on a spirit level, you signed up to come here right now when all of this madness is happening, when all of this political madness is happening, when all of this stuff is going wrong on the planet, when this virus is spreading, when, all of these things are going on. Unconsciously, spiritually, we knew that things were going to get crazy here. And so we have to remember who we are and what we came here to achieve and what our purpose is here while we're here. So don't forget. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget what you're capable of. And while it feels like a free fall to just trust that the universe has your back and that you're here for a reason and that you have to just let go of expecting things to look the way they used to look. And that's scary. I know it's scary. And I've been click tracking it like crazy. I've been told this morning that I need to start listening to the PS Tech Embracing Change tracks, which are great hypnosis tracks to help you ride out change and stop trying to control every little thing and just trust that good things are coming your way, even if they don't look the way they used to or the way you expect them to. That's really key right now. So that's been my toolbox lately. It's, if a negative belief comes up, I belief blast it. If a negative feeling or a fear or a heaviness or a sadness or any kind of overwhelm comes up, I use the PS Tech click track on it. Or if it just feels like a lot and there's a situation that I don't like, then I just gather that up and I hand it over to my team or I hand it over to the universe and I say, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to make this go better. So I'm going to hand this over to you and ask you to please take care of this for me. And all I can do is trust and allow. Another thing is that this morning I was doing an online session with a client, and I've been kind of shown to go back to channeling messages. And after I channeled a message for her, I was shown myself ripping up my vision board. So I created a vision board at the beginning of this year with all the goals that I had set for myself, all the things I wanted to achieve in my business and my love life and traveling and all of these things that, I wanted to be able to achieve or I wanted to attract into my life. And I think right now is a time to really give ourselves over and to remember what we came here for as souls, as opposed to it being, what does my human body want? What does my ego want? What does my logical mind think is best next? Tearing up those vision boards and just saying, universe, I trust you to show me the best possible path for me. Show me how I can be of service. Show me how I can have the best possible life and experience here while also helping others and serving the purpose that my soul came here to serve at this time. And so I was just shown tearing it up and being like, if these things are for my highest good, and if these things are for the highest good overall, which, many of them would be, then bring them to me, show them to me. That would be fantastic. Show me how to create those things. But I let go of what I expect. I let go of what I think I need or what think I'm supposed to achieve or where I think I'm supposed to be, and just allow and let myself be guided. If there are actions I need to take, then take those guided actions, but not just scrambling and climbing and striving and being on the hamster wheel of what do I need to do next? What do I need to do next? How can I fix this? How can I make this happen? How can I control this situation? It's, what am I here to do? What is my purpose? What's my soul's next job here? And how can I help that to serve me and, so that I can enjoy the experience that I have here as a physical being on this plane, but also how can I use that to contribute to this shift on the planet, to the shift of souls, to everything that's going on here at this time. So I would like to actually do a channeled message here today, which is not something I've done publicly in quite some time. In 2015, I pretty much channeled a few messages a week for the public alone, much less like I did private sessions where I would channel messages for people during my Reiki sessions and things like that too. Um, but at the end of 2015, I got a message that I had brought through the message that I was intended to bring, and that it was time to just start applying it, just to go live it. But this morning, when I was in session with my client, I had already kind of been getting the sense that I was supposed to maybe open back up to channeling or doing more spiritual balancing work and stuff. So I did a channeled message for her, and the general sense of that was to remember who we are and to live from our souls. So to really ground and to open our hearts and to let our own inner knowing and to let our higher selves guide our day-to-day actions and to, and this message was for me as much as it was for her. The things we do that we knew were our purpose to begin with. Like, I know, like, I was divinely guided to do psychological work with people. I was guided to do hypnosis and work with the subconscious mind to get people to a healthier, happier place. But I kind of got the smackdown because they were saying, okay, so you did that, you followed our instructions, but you don't always do it from a soul place. You don't bring your higher self into those sessions when you're guiding people. So it's really a matter now of integrating. What have you been doing to live your purpose? And how much of that have you been doing from a logical place? And how can you now integrate your higher self or your soul into that to really take it to a whole other level, to be able to help more people and help them on a much deeper level, and to be able to be balancing things energetically at the same time that you're taking the physical action of the purpose that you've been living. So whatever it is that you have felt divinely guided to do, whether that's teaching math, teaching yoga, or doing therapy, or whatever it is that you do, uh, bring your soul to that. Let your soul take part in teaching that, and let your intuition guide you on what the next step is. And that's regardless of whether you're in the room teaching people, or giving someone advice or anything like that, or if it's being a bank teller, or if it's promoting your business, or whatever it is. And even your day-to-day relationships and interactions, bringing your higher self, bringing your soul to that, and letting that guide you moment to moment, instead of your brain. Instead of, your brain is a physical organ in your body, and we believe that our brain is us. And really, it's hard sometimes to separate the difference between our consciousness and our brain. But our brain, just like any other organ in our body, is just doing the job that it was meant to do. And so, our brains were designed to look out for what could get us next. We're supposed to be constantly scanning for what could go wrong, what's missing here, what bad things could happen to me, what is a possible threat to me, my safety, my mental health, anything like that. That's what our brain is designed to do, and we've evolved to specifically do that. Now, for the most part, most of our lives have been pretty freaking safe. So now we tend to overreact to things that are not survival level threats. And I'm not saying that what's going on right now in the world isn't a survival level threat, because for some people it is. But there are many things that go on in the world that our brains overreact to, or we have autopilot thoughts that are negative about things and critical about things. And we blame ourselves and criticize ourselves and get mad at ourselves for having thoughts that are worrisome, having thoughts that are judgmental or critical, when that is exactly what the brain is designed to do. Just like your stomach is designed to digest food and tell you when you're hungry, your brain is designed to watch for what could be a threat, what could be a negative, what is missing, what needs to be fixed. But we don't constantly need to be in that mode anymore. So we need to stop identifying ourselves as our brains, and we need to stop buying into every single thought that our brain produces. We'd be much better served to consciously ask ourselves, is this thought serving me in any way? Is this thought true? Is this thought valuable? Or is this just my brain freaking out and trying to protect me from something that I really don't need to be protected from? That's really where PS Tech comes in handy, because you can just knock those out real quick. But I do want to bring through a message. So Those of you who are driving while you listen to this, I don't recommend that you close your eyes and really go in deep with this. So for those of you who it's not safe to go into this zone, I want you to set the intention now that you will stay completely awake, alert, and aware while you listen to this message. And for those of you who wish to kind of go into the zone with me to kind of receive this message on a deeper subconscious and soul level, just set the intention that you are able to stay aware of everything and to be able to hear the message and take it in while also being able to completely relax, relaxing your nervous system, relaxing your brain, relaxing your body. All right, so go ahead and close your eyes if you're not driving. Take a few slow, deep breaths into the bottom of your lungs. Letting your body relax back. Mentally and energetically letting go of anything you brought in with you from the outside world. All of your concerns and fears and burdens and anything you've been carrying around for other people, anything you've been carrying around that just doesn't serve you anymore, the weight of the world on your shoulders. Just gather it all up and put it down. It's like you can just pile it up on the floor. Just continue scanning for anything you've been carrying around that just doesn't serve you. Anything that doesn't belong to this moment right now. And then grounding your higher self into you. So inviting your higher self to enter either through the top of your head or in your chest just below your heart, wherever you feel that connection. And for a lot of people, it does start in the center of your torso, above your stomach, below your heart. Just allowing your higher self to really connect with you physically, really enter into your physical body. Your torso spreading out, feeling a sense of warmth, of homecoming. Letting that spread out through your whole body, into your limbs, into your head, till it's both filling and surrounding you. And imagine about a foot below your feet, there's a chakra there, and your higher self has a tether, almost like a seatbelt. And you can click those in so that your higher self is tethered in to you and your energy field right now. And so it's like a satisfying old-fashioned seatbelt click. Allowing your higher self to really guide you. And so all of our higher selves are here and present for this message. For those of you who are listening right now, for those of you who will listen in the future, all of our higher selves are contributing to this message. And I call forth beings of the highest vibrational frequency that are in alliance with us at source, the highest level of our highest self. And we bind all others from us. We ask these teams to surround and protect us, to raise our vibrations and the vibration of the space that we're in, to bring forth our best possible healing and any guidance we're meant to receive at this time for our highest good. And I call down from the full spectrum of healing energies that are for our highest good at this time. Healing and guidance energies and any activations we're meant to receive at this time, as sanctioned by the highest level of our highest selves, under the full protection of source energy. And I ask if there's a message that is meant to be present at this time for the people who listen and watch this. We see that there is massive change in your environment. And we hold space for you as you go through this difficult time. We wish for you to please, at this moment, open yourself, open your heart, open your energy field to receive the love and the guidance and the support that we have for you. Know that we are holding space for you right now, that right now we are sending you love and energy and support and guidance. And we ask that you please don't allow the fear and the stress that is all around you at this time to close you down to being able to receive. Because we know that it is difficult to watch the people around you becoming stressed and to not take that on yourself and to see the ways that these changes are affecting your life and your experience. That can close you down, shut you down too, can make you want to just go into your little hermit shell and hide away and protect yourself. Hunker down until it's all over. That closes you off to receiving this divine blessing, the guidance you're meant to receive, and it stops you from living from your heart, from your soul. It shuts you down to your purpose. So it's time to reopen. Open your crown, open your heart, and receive this energy, receive this blessing, receive this message. And remember who you are. Remember that this physical being is not who you are, that you're so much more. Remember what your soul came here for. Remember how good you can feel. And choose that day to day. Choose to let this in. If you need to listen to this every day to remind you until it becomes your regular state, then do that. What do you need to bring you back to this again and again? Because you can feel this good daily. You can feel this good more and more and more all the time. So open and allow it in. Let it in. Allow us, your team, to bring you to the best possible frequency for you and to show you what your purpose is here, what your next steps are. Imagine living every single step of your life from this divine place. Imagine living every soul and every breath from this divine version of you in this open-hearted way. Imagine letting the universe just flow right through you. All of the stressors of the world make you forget. And it's time to remember. Recognize that this time on this planet is a time of massive shift and change. And while this message has been coming through for a long time, you can see You're getting close to the apex of the shift. It's building. It was building slowly for a long time. Difficult, crazy thing after difficult, crazy thing was happening, and you were acclimating. And this one's pretty intense. It's pretty big. It's affecting the whole planet. This is all part of the shift. Your soul knew this was coming. It's time to remember that, and that you are here to help hold space for that, that you have a purpose with this. This is a time for you to remember who and what you are and why you came here. It's no longer about your physical day to day life that you've been living so far. Now it's about remembering to heal yourself and do your own work so that you can be at the proper frequency and attitude and intention to hold space for everyone else to wake up, to do their work, to shift, so that everyone can remember who and what they really are. But you were one of the ones who chose to come to show them the way. So it's time now, right now. There's no more waiting. It's time right now to remember who you are and to really, really start living that soul purpose of showing people the way. Showing people how they can heal their fear. But first, you have to heal yours. So remember that here and now, that as your fears come up, make sure to address them. And then share that with the next person and the next person who comes, wondering how you can be so calm, wondering how you're getting through this so well. Show them. The ones who are ready will come. You don't have to go looking for them. It's really just you doing your work, living your best life, choosing moment to moment to do that from the divine place within you, letting that guide your every step, your every word, your every process, your every relationship, and letting the ones who are ready for you come to you. And being ready to just hold space, to every day choose to have your heart open, to see that all that is unfolding with a divine purpose. That even though a lot of it looks ugly on the surface, and it's just mind boggling, it's incomprehensible at times, you can remember that all of this ugliness is leading to a change, it's leading to an awakening. And you're here to help that. So keep holding space for yourself. And the more of your own stuff that you heal, the more you shift the overall frequency of the planet and others on it. Don't go chasing down others trying to fix them. Just continue your own work, your own process, your own staying in a beautiful place and letting that be the beacon. Notice how good that feels. Notice how right that feels and how little effort there is to that. This right here, this is what you came to do. This and nothing more. So everything you do, choose to do, let it be from this place. Let your heart, your soul, your intuition guide you. And of course, your logical brain is there to help problem solve, to help logic things out when needed. But it's time to rely more and more on the heart, the soul, the intuitive guidance of your team and your higher self and your connection with Source to be the guidance, to be the guiding energy, to be the guiding influence of your actions. And if you wonder what that looks like physically, it can be very similar to sending Reiki energy, where you invite in the divine energy or the universe's energy in through the top of your head, and you amplify it in your heart and you send it out from your heart, from your hands, from every cell, from your words, from your actions, from your gaze. It's really about intention. It's intending to take every step from an open hearted place, to keep yourself in a good place so that you can hold space for others. You can hold space for the earth. It's really continuing to go about your business, but more grounded and asking yourself often, asking your higher self, putting your hand on your heart and asking your higher self, what do I want right now? What is the next step? What can be done to solve this problem? What is this trying to teach me? What is the best guidance I can give right now? What is the tool I need to release this fear? Taking the action from there, trusting what comes through. But most of all, keeping your heart open and not trying to control everything, not trying to push everything to remain the way you expect it to be or the way that it's been. It's time for full on surrender and openness. And it can feel scary, can feel like a free fall to not know what's coming next and to not try to control things. But you have to trust the universe has your back. It's time right now. Remember who you are. Namaste. So we give thanks and ask that this healing, blessing, clearing, and activation continue until it is whole, complete, perfect, and permanent. That any shifting or transitioning that occurs is done with total grace and ease. That we be grounded to the earth, fully focused and functional on the physical plane, while still completely aware of and guided by our own divinity, approaching life with a sense of adventure and an open heart, always centered in the highest truth of our highest self. Selah, Selah, Selah. You are awake, you are alert, you're in perfect balance and harmony. Coming back to your body, back to the room, opening your eyes, moving around a little bit, seeing how that feels and trying to bring that energy back with you into the day-to-day world. Just seeing what that shifts for you. And, like was said, if you need to come back to that meditation every day, then come back to that meditation every day. At some point, I might do some kind of immune system boosting hypnosis or something like that. So I'll share that when I can. I thought about doing that today, but it felt more important to bring through this message for now. Soon, I hope to help do something for the immune system so that people feel. Actually, I do want to talk about that right now. I want you to know that you have a level of sovereignty over your own immunity and your own immune system. If you can convince your brain that you are healthy, that you're okay, it creates that state in your body. And so it's important for you to affirm to yourself every day. And I'm not a big fan of affirmations. I would prefer you do PS Tech Positive or something like that. But whatever you have to do, hypnosis, tapping, whatever you can do to get this in deeper and just to remind yourself consciously and subconsciously over and over and over again that you can have a very strong immune system, that you can create perfect health for yourself. And that can be really difficult for some people to buy into, especially if they've had multiple health issues throughout the course of their lives. That that idea that you can just use your brain to boost your immune system or to control a certain health issue or anything in your life, really a matter of just tipping that balance of belief. And so for some people, it's going to be really easy to make that transition. And for some people, it'll be really difficult to make that transition. Just keep at it, keep affirming to yourself, I have a strong immune system. My immune system is getting stronger and stronger every day. My health is getting better and better every moment of every day. Just continuing to remind yourself of that, because really that's what faith is all about. It doesn't even have to be about divinity, it doesn't have to be spiritual if that's not where you're at. If you can get your brain to fully buy into something and believe it, you can have miracles. It's incredible. You know, a lot of faith healers, that's what's really going on, is the people believe that person can heal them, and so instantly they're healed. But it wasn't that person that did that for them. It was their brain that was like, "Oh, this person can heal me. When this person touches me or bashes me in the forehead, I'm going to be all better." And then suddenly they are, because their brain bought into it. So that's what we need to do. We've got to convince ourselves that we have strong, healthy immune systems, that we are in perfect health, that we are achieving perfect health right now. So, what do I do when I'm feeling symptoms? If I start to feel like I'm coming down with a cold or flu or anything like that, I will either give myself Reiki for usually maybe 20 minutes at a time. I'll aim the energy at myself, and I will say full spectrum perfect health Reiki or full spectrum immune system boosting Reiki. Then I'll finish it off with or something even better. And I'll just run that energy and just kind of sit quietly and send it to myself. And you can even do that while you watch television. You can do that while you're riding in the car. Um, you can just be running the energy while you're doing other things. Usually it's better if you do it when you're being still than it is when you're trying to do an action, because you'll keep getting distracted from sending the energy that way. But so I do that sometimes, and I try to do that a few times that day where I feel like, oh, I think I'm coming down with something. And I'll just send that energy, and the next morning I'll get up and I'll feel fine. Do the same thing with PS Tech. Sometimes instead of doing the Reiki, I'll do 2 or 3 rounds of the PS Tech click track over the course of that day where I just feel my symptoms and complain about getting sick, and then the next day I'll wake up and I'll be perfectly fine. So, I feel like the more you do that, the more your body buys into and your brain buys into the fact that you can just fight things off very quickly and easily. And sometimes tipping that balance of belief can be difficult. As I mentioned, if you've had a lot of health issues, then it's going to be more difficult for your brain to buy into the fact that you can just like hypnotize them away or Reiki them away or anything like that. So a lot of times it's better to start with small emotional things, start chipping away at those, see that you can get relief from those. And then over time, that will translate over into, oh, I can fight off health related issues with this as well. Or I can convince my brain that I'm okay more than just emotionally. Like, yes, okay, I've seen that these things I can get emotional improvement on. So maybe I can also get a health improvement from these tools as well. Just whatever it takes to tip that balance, you have to keep chipping away at it until your brain buys in and makes that shift. So that's really what it's all about for me. Uh, Faith is really just getting your brain to buy into something strongly enough to believe it. So, and, the placebo effect is there for a reason. Like, the placebo effect is absolute proof that if we believe something is occurring, we can create physical change in our bodies. So there you go. Create your own placebo effect. So you just keep chipping away, get your brain to believe that you can have absolute immunity, and you will. All right, so that's my message for today, and I hope that all of you are riding out this crazy, crazy shift really well, and that you continue to remember who you are.